Hello, my beautiful friends. So, I've been thinking a lot about emotions and how many of us, whether we had childhood trauma or not, may not really know how to emotion as an adult because many of us were raised by parents or caregivers who may have said, when we showed any kind of big emotion, may have said, go to your room or cut it out or snap out of it, but didn't actually help guide us or support us through what we were feeling as children and how to process it. So then we turn into adults doing the same thing, pushing down emotions or feeling the sensation but ignoring it and not really knowing how to emotion. So I thought I would give a little example here today with how to emotion in a healthy and regulating way. I always think about what we need in two ways. They kind of fall into two categories. One is, do we need to feel safe and anchored, or do we need to feel expansive and empowered? And depending on what your need is, will determine the practice that we would use. So let's say, as an example, I'm feeling like I'm not being heard. I'm not used to using my voice because of the traumas of the past, perhaps. And I'm used to always being told that when I'm quiet, I'm good. I'm a good girl when I'm quiet and not causing a scene. So as an adult, it may be really difficult for me to speak up, use my voice, and show any kind of assertiveness. So a practice here would be, perhaps in this case, that I don't need to feel anchored or secure, but I might need to feel empowered, to bring some empowerment, some force into my being, into my body, into my energy, to help alleviate that sensation of feeling that I'm not being heard. Now, one thing I will say first is I am never suggesting that we run away from our emotion. So what I would say is bring your awareness. Step one is always bring your awareness to notice that you are feeling this way, that you're feeling maybe a little bit disrespected or not heard, or people don't really look to you for guidance or information because it's the sense that you don't have anything to contribute, perhaps. Whether it's true or not, that may be your perception. Or when you've tried to speak up, that it kind of fell flat, people didn't really take you seriously or hear what you were suggesting or whatever that might be. This is just a general example. So in this case, I would first bring the awareness to, I'm feeling really off. I feel really kind of sad or heavy about this because I'm feeling like I'm not being heard. And then I would look for it in my body, because if I'm feeling an emotion, then I am definitely, there's going to be a corresponding sensation in my body. Perhaps I feel heavy in my chest, or perhaps I feel the desire to be small, or perhaps it's triggering some anger, which would be normal to feel. And so maybe I'm feeling a little bit like a lot of energy and just kind of like agitated. So first, I would say never resist this feeling. This is information. This is your body and your nervous system and your brain and your emotions all saying, hey, this is what's happening. Do you want to do anything about this? So sit with it, acknowledge it, say hello, thank you for being here. It's okay to feel the discomfort of an uncomfortable feeling. It's okay. It cannot harm you to feel the feeling, okay? So just take a moment and acknowledge it and feel it. Notice where it is in your body. How does it feel in your body? You could use descriptors or sensations. You could describe it as a color or a shape or a temperature. Whatever you can do to kind of give it a little bit of validation. It likes validation. And then from there, you can decide, do I need the grounding, the anchoring, or do I need that kind of expansive empowerment? In this example, I'm going to use the expansive empowerment. But for each of us, it is individual. You may feel like you just need to feel safe. And in that case, it would be some slightly different practices than what I'm going to show you in today's example. So because I'm feeling kind of small, not heard, it's feeling like I'm imbalanced in my body with my physical sensation, maybe I'm feeling some anger kind of starting to come up, then I'm going to go for the empowerment. I'm going to go into a physical practice, of empowering myself to feel that I can stand in my place and speak with my voice and be heard. So once I've acknowledged, hello, thank you for being here, it's okay that you're here, I find that the more that we resist an emotion or a feeling, the more it grips on. We give it more power by saying, we don't want this. So if you can just kind of sit with it, observe it, notice it, just for a moment. And then we're going to go into something empowering. So in this case, I'm going to stand and I'm going to take up space. So instead of just standing normally, I may actually go into like a 5-pointed star where my arms are out and my palms are up. If I wanted to feel more grounded, perhaps the palms would be down and I could notice that connection to the earth, to the floor. But in this case, I want to feel big. I'm 5'2", but I want to feel like I am taking up this whole room. So I can speak and roar and I will be heard and I will feel confident and empowered to speak my voice. So even just standing in this stance, and give it a try, even if you're feeling neutral or okay, just standing in this stance with hands on the hips, kind of like Wonder Woman or Superman, or especially with arms out to the sides, palms up. You could notice how that might feel. It may feel vulnerable to take up space when you're not used to taking up the space. So really kind of expand into it. Or you could take your arms up towards the ceiling and look up as well. So you could just really kind of extend into the space that you're standing in. And then just expand your breath. So take a deeper breath and expand fully into your lungs as well. And you could let that go. Maybe that feels a little awkward or weird. The ultimate practice is the one that works for you. And the one that works for you, I don't actually know because you are the expert of you and what you need. So I'm giving you some suggestions, but maybe for some people, it will be something completely different. What I'm saying is stand in a position that makes you feel strong and empowered, whatever that might be. For some, maybe they want to go into a yoga pose, like a warrior one pose, where my right leg is forward, my left leg is back, and I reach up and look up towards the ceiling. And I have to admit, for me, this does feel very empowering, but maybe not to everyone. So again, it is a little about exploration and kind of the adventure of finding out what you need and what works for you. In this case, I love this. So we're going to go with this. We're going to breathe and expand the lungs, and we're just going to notice if anything is shifting by taking this powerful stance. Maybe it is, and maybe it's not, and it's okay either way. There's no wrong way to do this. We could come out of this. Now, because it's a voice situation where I feel like I'm not being heard, perhaps I even want to stroke down my neck. So bringing the awareness into that throat and the vocal, the place of vocal expression. So you could even just stroke or massage or just touch in this area. There's also, if you follow the chakra systems, the throat chakra is in this area. You could tap along the collarbones or tap a little bit on the neck. And you could even activate your neck just by moving your neck in whichever way feels right for you. So really kind of releasing and expanding in your neck specifically. So you could stand with hands on hips and you could just move your head around and see if this is allowing some opening or expansion in your physical state, in your emotional state, in your breath. Notice that perhaps your breath now may be a little deeper. Again, it's okay if that's not happening right away, that's okay. And then what I really like to do is express myself with a sound. This can be really fun and a little scary if you're not used to doing it. So in this example, I'm feeling like I'm not being heard. So I might even want to scream, which I won't do here, but scream into a pillow, scream into the bed, or I may want to growl or roar, or I could even expel my breath over the side of my shoulders. This is called lion's breath in yoga, where you would take a nice big inhale and you would exhale over a shoulder, but you would open your mouth wide, stick your tongue out, and you could exhale with a growl or a roar or some sort of sound. So I'm going to do that for you, and it's going to look funny, but I swear to you, it feels so good to try it. So give this a try with me. I can't see what you're doing. So standing in your nice strong stance, the hands can be on the hips if you like. And then inhale, take a nice breath, inhale. We're going to look over the right shoulder first, and then exhale, opening the mouth wide, sticking the tongue out. Mine's more like a big hiss, isn't it? Like a vampire. Let's try that again. So come look forward, inhale. Turn your head over the right shoulder and exhale. I like the idea of over the shoulder because I feel like in some ways my visual is that the negative prickly emotions that I'm feeling, I'm expelling with my breath. And I feel like if I breathe and exhale them in front of me, that there's a chance I'll suck them back in with my inhale. So I always expel over the shoulder. I know that's silly, but the visualization works for me. So let's try it again, but now turning and looking over the left shoulder. Okay, so inhale. Look over the left. And really open your mouth. Really expel all of your exhale as far as you can, contracting into your abs, into your diaphragm. Let's try that again. One more inhale. Look over the left shoulder. And coming back. And again, you can growl, you can yell, you can hum. Humming is also a really nice way to express your vocal tone, your vocal expression. I like doing a Brahmari breath, which is just inhaling and exhaling with a humming sound. So it would sound like this. It would be which may or may not be enough if you're feeling really agitated. When I feel really agitated, the lion's breath and really expelling with a sound, for me personally, is always more effective. And then after we've done a little bit of this kind of expression, then we can move our body a little bit. So let's try to think of moving and opening the body up in general. When we are tense, stressed, when our nervous system is dysregulated, when it doesn't feel safe, it is common, just like prey, in regards to prey versus a predator. If you were prey, you're going to be small and contracted and probably not moving a lot and shallow breathing or holding breath. So we want to think more like the stance of a predator in the way that we are open, we're confident, we're standing in our place, taking up our space. And it is ours. It is just our place to be. We deserve to be here. We exist, and that's all that we need to do right now. So in this case, we could open up in, again, noticing what your body wants. So opening up in whichever way feels good to make some sort of flow or freedom in your shoulders, in your neck, in your back. Thinking about moving the body in all the ways that it can. So we have 3D movement, which is we can come forward and backwards. We can go side to side, and we can twist. So if you're thinking about moving the body in all of those ways, in a really nice, it can be gentle, or if you're feeling more agitated, it can be more strong poses or poses that create like more of a challenge for you. So in that case, I wouldn't do the glidey slidey stuff. I would do things like a balance pose. The balance pose forces the attention from your brain into what you're doing. And so often bringing a challenging pose can give you the feeling or the sense of calm because it's taking that rumination away from you, but also when you nail it, even if you wobble out and come back, there's great learning in facing a challenge, wobbling, and rising still. So coming back to it. And then just standing in your footprint again. You can stand normally or with the feet still wide, and just assess, just notice, has anything changed? I feel like I could take on the world right now. I love the lion's breath, that works for me. And I hope that you will explore not only embracing the discomfort of feelings that might be uncomfortable, but also acknowledging them and thanking them for what they do for us, the messages that they are giving to us. The more that we can pause for a moment and then be empowered to change them, change your state of being. This is a very powerful place to be. And it also means that there is no emotion that you cannot manage. And therefore, you're empowered. You are in charge. You're in control. And life looks a lot different when you're in control of it. Take good care.